Everybody, sorry for the slight delay. There's just a little bit of a technical glitch there, but we are here, we are rolling, and I'm excited to be your hosts again. Thank you everybody for joining. So my name's Selena. For those of you that didn't see me a couple of weeks ago, I work with the PR team at Prequel. So before we dive into this super exciting discussion and meet our amazing guests, I'd like to share a few tidbits on how our community events are run for those who are joining for the first time. So to begin with, we'll start with our discussion on content creation, and then we'll move to an open discussion. That's where you can, where we'll ask all of the questions that you've been putting forward throughout the event. And then just before we introduce Jayson, I would just like to go over a few quick rules. The first one is to be active, and feel free to ask questions even during the event in the chat, and then we'll get to them during the main discussion. Number two is please no spam in the comments. We only have 1 hour and we don't want anybody's amazing questions to go missed. So please just keep it to the discussion. And then third is pretty much goes without saying, but please no inappropriate language or comments in the chat. So that's all that out the way. Let's get everything started. I'm super excited to invite our guest, Jayson Robertson. So hopefully I'll be able to bring him up and we can get this discussion rolling. Hey, here you are, Jayson.
I think it's working now.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Great. So Jayson, yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to come and join with us today. For those of you in the audience that haven't heard of Jayson before, could you just give yourself a little introduction? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so basically I'm a content creator from Sydney, Australia. I got my first camera during the first lockdown. So I've been shooting since 2020, like mid 2020. I didn't really take it too serious until the last year. So I just started off taking like street photography, doing some brand work with like my local gym and things like that. And then I started to get a little bit more creative with it and pretty much just went from there. So I've been going hard at it like for the last year or so.
Amazing. Really amazing. So right, let's dive into these questions. We've got a fair few to get through. So 2022 was your first full year as a content creator. For you personally, what was the main reason for you to start this journey?
So pretty much like growing up, I was always pretty creative. I was playing in bands and I used to make like music videos, not music videos, but like the lyric videos and things like that. Back in MySpace days, I'd create like the MySpace layout. Like I was always like doing something creative, and I played like bands up until I was maybe 20, 21 or something. And then I just took a break and I wasn't doing anything creative for like maybe 5 or 6 years. And I was like traveling a lot and things like that. And then, yeah, just during the lockdown, I was so bored. I started playing like music again. And then I was like, I'm going to get a camera. And I do work at a gym. So I was like, I'll do take some photos of the gym, take some videos. And then I just like fell in love with photography, videography, just being able to like create something again. Like it felt good. Like I hadn't done anything creative for that long. It just felt good to be able to do something by myself. Like being in a band, you're relying on other people. Not relying on them, but like you're working with other people. And I think photography, you can just do what you want. Like if you want to go shoot, you just go out by yourself. Not to say it's better than being in a band or anything like that, but like it was just good to get that creative like flow again. So that's why I kind of stuck to it.
Definitely. And on your time as well, like when you want to, like, I know because I've been in a band myself, when you want to have a practice and be like fitting around everybody else's schedule, it's like, oh, I just want to play music.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of waiting
and also
around.
MySpace, I remember those days too.
Yeah, that's telling my age.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but
yeah.
But I'm the same because it would show my age too.
Well, MySpace was good.
It was great fun. Yeah, I remember the hierarchy of putting all your friends there.
Yeah.
And if somebody irritated you, you'd bump them down to third or something. That would.
Yeah. And it was pretty much like you were showing yourself through music. You'd put your favorite bands there, like you'd put your profile song. It was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't even say which song I had on for the longest time because it's incredibly embarrassing. So we'll move on to the next question. Can you please mention the top 3 things? So the top 3 do's and don'ts that you would say to a beginner to really, for them to get the best outcome out of their first year as a content creator?
So the do's I'd say is like, just do what you want to do. Like, don't feel like you have to copy anyone. You can take inspiration and things like that, but do what you want to do. Second, I would say if it's like photography and videography related, if you get offered to go and shoot anything, like just take it. Like everything's practice. You're going to learn from it. It's some shoots might be awkward and you might not get anything from it, but you'll still learn from the experience. And third, I would say is just keep posting on Instagram, TikTok, all the apps. Just keep posting. Try to stay consistent with it. If you take a break, like the algorithms don't really favor you. They kind of, like, I took a break in 2020 for like 3 months and I lost all the momentum that I had. And I haven't done that. I haven't taken another break since, and it's just kept growing. So the don'ts, I don't know. I think they're just the opposites of the do's. Like, just pretty much don't turn down a shoot. Just do what you can. Don't feel like you need to keep coming up with new ideas and things like that. Follow the trends and like put your own spin on it, but just try and relate it to what's going on and have a look through the reels and TikToks, trending stuff like that. Don't be afraid to like follow the trends, I'd say.
Okay, cool. Yeah, amazing. And what are the first steps to take if you want to develop as a content creator?
First steps, I'd say obviously getting yourself some kind of camera. You can do anything on your phone these days. Like, phones are really good. There's apps obviously that help you edit. There's apps that have templates and things like that you can literally just drop your content into. Watch a lot of YouTube tutorials. Like, when I started, I was just on YouTube all the time. Like, that's where all my free time was. I was just watching how to do this, how to do that. And if you can, reach out to like other creatives in the area that you live in. See if you can organize just shoots to go around, learn off other creators. I was going out by myself a lot to shoot when I started. And then when I met some people who are now considered good mates, I can't go and shoot by myself anymore. Like, I can, but I prefer not to. Like, I want to go out like with the boys and shoot. And I would say, yeah, just try and find some people in your area that you can bounce ideas off.
That's amazing. I never would have thought that photography would have been a social gathering, but yeah, that's really interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
So, how did you get your first audience? What did you do to grow it?
So I started by, I was posting photos on Instagram. I was kind of growing a little bit, and then I came across a creator. Her name's Lisa Ann Simpson, and she was just dropping like, just like there was trending audios, and she would put her photos to like the beat of the music and stuff like that. Like, they're seen everywhere in the reels now. But I just had a chat with her, and she's like, I saw her grow like really, really quickly, and I was like, what are you doing? And she said, just start making reels, start posting reels. So that's what I did. Just started posting reels, putting my photos to the beat of music. I reposted a lot of photos. It's like, I don't think you need to be scared to do that. Like, you can reuse content. Not everyone's going to see that reel. Like, a whole bunch of different people might see that reel, and a whole bunch of different people might see the next one. You might reuse the same content. But that's how I pretty much started the growth, was through reels. Photos, they weren't doing too well. I think they're starting to kind of pick back up. But I would say, like, don't be scared to post photos either. Like, just literally post whatever you want to post. As long as you're posting something, you've got a bigger chance to grow than just sitting there not doing anything.
Precisely. When you said reposting reels, like how long a time frame would you wait before you repost it? Not like the next day, or like in a couple of weeks?
Like, I was experimenting with it a lot at the start. I was doing like one a day, and then I was like, you know what, like, that was super easy to make. So I was like, I'll do 2 a day, like one in the morning, one in the night. Then I got up to like 3 a day. I kind of got like a little addicted to like creating them and things like that. I don't think you really need to do that, but two a day was working pretty good for a while there. And then I didn't think you really needed to do that as well. Like, it seems like Instagram will pick up one of the reels, circulate it, and I don't know if there's any like secret formula to like going viral. I think it's like picked at random. But yeah, once a day, that's kind of what I try and stick to. If I miss a day or two, so be it. But yeah, once a day, I try to do it.
Amazing, cool. So, what are the crucial elements of any content? Like, do you notice any general patterns between the content and audience likes?
I mean, from what I've seen on Instagram, there's like different niches. Some photographers might do one thing and it'll work well. Other photographers might try it and it doesn't work. I've done that. I've tried to like do things that other people are doing and it might not take off for me. But I find that my page really took off when I started doing the more creative stuff, like the time lapses, time slices, cinemagraphs, all that kind of like more technical kind of stuff. Not to say that the photo drops didn't help me, or they still don't. I still have like one or two might take off every now and then. I do a lot of cinematic videos that I don't post a lot of, but when I post, if I post it, it might do okay, it might not. But yeah, I don't think there's anything crucial to like what gets taken. I think it's all up to Instagram, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
At the mercy of the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then so what do you think makes a great content creator?
Just someone that really like believes in what they're doing and not doing it for the wrong reasons. Like you have to actually enjoy doing it. Like I enjoy doing all sorts of content creation. I like filming like for the gym, filming cars. Like I don't think you need to stick to one thing. Kind of just do what you want to do, post it up, and then just kind of move on from it. Like don't think about it too much. Even when you're editing, like if you're like, oh, it could be better, but I don't know what to do to it, I just post it up. So I think you just post it, move on to the next idea, and don't get stuck up on like one piece of work, unless it's like a really big passion project or something like that. I would just like not quickly edit, but like still do good, and then just post it and move on.
Just keep that momentum going.
Keep it going.
Yeah. So you talked about getting inspiration from what's trending. Are there any content creators that you absolutely adore? And who would you recommend and why?
There's a few. The boys that I shoot with obviously inspire me a lot. Like we go out and shoot all the time. I'll drop their ads. Mosa Shoots, MOSASHOOTS. He does like sort of similar stuff to what I do with the street and the creative stuff. He does a lot of like videography and stuff as well. And then there's Caleb Coronius. He does more like travel, lifestyle, inspirational vlogs and stuff like that. He's a really good videographer. So those are the two guys that I do a lot of stuff with, but there's a bunch of creators, like I wouldn't be able to name all of them. Literally go through whoever I'm following and they're all good. Like I love so many creators.
Amazing. Then next up, how do you plan your content? You know, do you pay attention to the newest trends or do you get inspiration elsewhere? What materials or journals do you follow?
I do pay attention to the trends. If I see something that is like taking off and there's a lot of people jumping on it, you got to kind of look out for the trending audios too. You might not like the songs. Like a lot of the stuff I post, I don't necessarily like the music. Like I literally listen to heavy metal all the time. Like, so I'm not going to post my content to heavy metal. I mean, I would love to, but it won't do well. So yeah, stick into the trending audios. And pretty much if you see something cool and you have an idea like, oh, I might be able to do this and add it on to what someone's done, that's what I do. I look out for a lot of that stuff. But on my page, I don't have a niche. That's one of the things I think that's kind of different for me. I don't just stick to one thing. I got like a lot of different styles that I like to try and hit. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it keeps me happy and my creativeness when I can just try something else. If I get bored of something, try something else. And yeah, I have fun with it that way.
Amazing. And so a last question, just me and you, then we'll move on to what our amazing audience have been asking. But before we do, what advice would you give to a content creator looking to start? Like, what would your number one piece of advice be?
Just start shooting, like literally anything. If there's something that they like gravitate towards, if it's workout videos, if it's lifestyle, if they like filming their dog, I don't know, like whatever it is, just practice, and I'm sure that will turn into something along the way. If they practice enough and get good at it, they'll be able to make like decent money from it as well. So it can become a job, it can become a lifestyle, it can kind of escape that 9 to 5 kind of going to work and doing something that don't necessarily find fun. That's kind of where I'm hoping to take it as well. So I would say just do that, just create whatever they can, post it up, see what the feedback is, and just move on from there. Just keep rolling with it.
Amazing. I might need to start making some content then. So we have a few questions from the audience. So we've got Sunsetoned says, due to a tight set schedule, I was not active for some time and I noticed that my engagement went down. Now my reels get very few views. Are there any changes in the algorithm, and what should I do to increase views and engagement?
Honestly, I don't know how the algorithm works. Like it feels like it's forever changing. But I would say just start posting consistently again. That's how I got back into it after like I took 3 months off. Like I didn't post a single thing for like 3 months, and then I just started posting daily. And I think that's what the algorithm kind of likes. If you're posting daily, feeding the machine, I think that's what's going to help and pick up the engagement again. Also, like reply to comments that come through. Like don't just leave them there. Reply to them, say thank you. Like if someone says something nice, someone says something bad, just say thank you and move on from it. But yeah, engage with the comments, and I think that helps a lot with it as well.
Amazing. So like if somebody was to take a short period of time off, like is there anything that you can say to recommend? Like are there any like scheduling apps or anything that you could use for, like, say you're going on holiday, maybe you're not going to be good like taking content, so you can reuse some old stuff and use a like a scheduling app or something?
I don't use any scheduling apps. I noticed that Instagram now lets you schedule posts. So you can do that. I tried it once. I didn't use it again after that. I don't know why. It was okay. Like it posted. I think there's a few features that if you set it as a draft, it doesn't let you post it or something. So I need to play around with that again. But no, I just kind of set up a bunch of drafts and like leave them there, and I'll just know which ones I got to post. Like, or I kind of look at my feed and like I kind of pick what I need to put next. Like I don't want to put two of the same kind of photos next to each other on my grid. So that's how I kind of plan it out.
Okay, cool, great. So there you go. Whoever answered that first question, you know, if you do have a tight schedule and you do have spare time, just get a load drafts ready. So then, if you've got a quick second, you can post them. It's great. So then we've got Willman Music Arts supported Jayson, saying that he's a gifted creative genius from all of the community.
Thank you.
I can't see because it's loading slowly. Community photography volunteers at Wilmar, East London. Maybe we can also mention it and greet them wishing. Oh, so that was just saying hello.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, they're being typed as we go along. So Melissa says, how did you get to doing this full time from what you did before? And how can you know when to make the step from employment to being on your own?
So I'm not currently doing it full time. And I kind of am, but I'm kind of not, because I stick to my gym job because I like it, and like I want to stay around the environment. So I still go in, do my work there, but the photography, content creation stuff is starting to pick up for me a lot. So like I could take it full time. It will be a lot harder, but I still don't really want to quit my job just because I like it. Like, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. So you've got the best of both worlds.
yeah, like I get to go there, I get to train, I get to hang out with like everyone's like my friends there, and it would be hard to leave there actually. But like yeah, the photography thing came. I think obviously the Instagram following helps because you get offered a lot more gigs that you might not get if you don't have a high number of followers. That's what I found, that I get hit up a lot more. But apart from that, you could reach out to like businesses in your local area. Word of mouth helps as well. So just take any shoot you can. If you do a good job, I'm sure people will spread your name around.
Amazing. So anybody else out there have any other questions to ask? I know that they're coming through, but they're just they're coming through in dribs and drabs. See if anybody in the chat saying anything. Add me. Lots of people still joining. Hello, if you're still joining, have you got any questions that you would like to ask? Well, in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for those questions to come in, you said that you were in a band before.
Mm-hmm.
What was your band called? What was your band's
My
name?
my band was called Sound of Seasons. It was kind of like, I don't know if you know, like Pierce the Veil, like Panic at the Disco kind of stuff.
Oh,
Like
okay,
that,
yeah, I know Panic at the Disco.
yeah, kind of pop punkish kind of stuff. So we did that for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 years. I had another band before that, so it's like I've always been playing in bands since I was about like 13 or 14. And then, as I said, I took like a 5-6 year kind of break, and now I'm like currently working on another project with an old friend from back then. So I'm excited to get into more music as well.
Amazing, yeah. How important would you say is music to the content that you create? Would you say that like it's quite, because you said that you'd love to post some things about metal, but then the content just wouldn't take off. So would you say that people would have to put music to their reels, or?
Yeah, I would recommend using the trending audios. And for anyone that doesn't know which ones are trending, if you look through your reels page, there's a little arrow down in the bottom left corner of the trending songs. If you see a little music note, that means that it's just a song. It's not trending. So try and look for those. For me, yeah, I would rather not post that music because like I don't actually enjoy it. I can listen to it. It's not my favorite music, but like I wouldn't post the kind of music I listen to my content.
Yeah, for sure. Well, maybe that's why my content's not doing well, because I keep putting my own music to it. Nobody likes my played out old hip hop.
It could be. Yeah, you have to look for those trending audios.
Good advice. Okay, so we have some more questions coming through. So Jeremy says, how do you know when an audio, we've already covered that one, when an audio is trending. So yeah, that one's done. And then we've got Caleb Carunios. So how do you balance work and photography?
Super easy for me because my days are pretty much in the morning and afternoon. So evening, because I'm a trainer, so it's a class based. So those people generally go to work during the day. So I've got all day free to either shoot or edit. So yeah, that's pretty easy for me.
Oh, nice. And what is your favorite type of photography to shoot? And is there anything you want to shoot more?
I love symmetry and patterns and things like that. That's probably my favorite thing. If I can find like a cool building or a cool wall with like an art kind of painting that's symmetry related, and then throw someone in there for to add like scale. So usually if I do that stuff, the person will be quite small in the photo. Those are the photos that I like taking. Once you like in Sydney, I've pretty much hit most spots. So it's like I need to travel around to find new spots to do that. But aside from that, probably more portraits I'd like to get into. So creative portraits.
Cool. And then like what's the research time like in terms of like you said that now you've pretty much done all of Sydney, you have to go out and find. So is that time that you dedicate to go out, or do you see them once you're out and about and then you have to go back and shoot them?
Usually it's like just if you're scrolling through Instagram, you might see something new, kind of write down the location That's about it. But yeah, if you're driving around, and I've done that a few times, you see something like, oh, I could do something there, then yeah, you can do that. Just kind of drop down on Google Maps or whatever where you are, save the location, and then go back.
Awesome. Then Moses Shoots wants to know, what is the best starter camera from your point of view?
I mean, I'd say Sony, probably the A6000 range, somewhere there. I'm not too like a technical guy. I'm not too sure. I just kind of like I said, I bought my first camera. I stuck with it. I have upgraded. But yeah, probably some Sony A6000, A6400, somewhere around there.
Cool, amazing. And oh, there's another one coming through, but it's going pretty slowly. So you said that you've upgraded now. What did you upgrade to? Is it a fancy one?
Yeah, so I'm shooting on the Sony A7 IV at the moment. So I started on the A7 III and I really liked it. And then I think I just needed to upgrade. Yeah, so I just went up to the A7 IV.
Amazing. Then Jeremy's asking, do you have any good recommendations for a tripod?
Like there's a Niwa one that I just ordered, so I'm getting that sent out. I'm not too sure what the model is, but the one I've been shooting on is a Zomei. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it, but that's pretty good. That's done me well for like 2 years. So
okay, cool, amazing. And then earlier you were talking about you want to do some more like creative portraits. What do you mean by, because as a complete photography dunce, what would a creative portrait be?
Just something like, because I like a lot of like neon lights and things like that. And as I said, like symmetry and patterns, if I can put someone in front of a cool pattern or a backdrop of neon lights, adding motion blur and things like that, puddles, like reflections and things like that as well. So just kind of not your normal kind of portrait, just add something else into it.
Cool. Yeah, sounds really interesting. So any more questions? I see lots of people are still joining. Like, get thinking of some questions and we are here to answer them. We have another one from Moses Shoots. What do you think the hardest thing about photography content? Oh, sorry, it's still coming through. I'll say it again. What do you think the hardest thing about photography content creation is?
I think staying motivated is probably the biggest one. So sometimes you got to kind of force yourself out to shoot. Like I tried to force myself out to go shoot last night and just came up with nothing. So definitely staying motivated. That would be the hardest part.
I guess like if you're not motivated to go out, then you're not entirely inspired. So I can imagine it's quite a hard thing to do. Right. Any more questions? Any more questions? So in terms of like when you're editing photos, like are there any go-to tools that you use to do that?
To edit photos? Mainly like just color grading in Lightroom, Photoshop if you need to take something out, like clean it up or add something into it. For time lapses and things like that, I would say LR time lapse. That's pretty much, those are like the 3 apps that I use.
Cool. And then we've got another question coming through. Once again, it's just a little slow to load. Victoria, how did you start making money from your work? How did you find your first clients?
My first client was, what was my first client? My first client was a gym recommendation from a friend. And I just went to film like a fly-through video. So pretty much you just take the camera around on a gimbal, walk around the whole gym, and you kind of like speed ramp it, add some motion blur and things like that. And that was a really good feeling to like get paid to actually do something. So that was my first one, and I've done a lot of gyms since then. So it was a good learning experience as well.
Amazing. Yeah. We've got one here. I think it's actually about Prequel, so I guess this one will be for me. What update will there be on Prequel in the future? So I guess it's a good time to mention that we have our new effect, which is the sorting hat, has just been released. So if you haven't tried it, check it out. But I feel a bit cheeky taking up your time to talk about Prequel,
you're right.
Jayson. So yeah, anybody out there, check it out. It's really cool. We have another question, hopefully for you this time. Are you interested in... I'll wait for it to finish.
Okay.
They're being typed out.
All right.
Okay, are you interested in including more video into your work?
Definitely, yes. So a lot of my paid stuff is actually video that I do for like brands, companies, and things like that. I try and incorporate it into my feed here and there every so often. So usually when I'm traveling, I'll do some cinematic videos and stuff like that. But I don't post too much of the video work.
Okay, cool. So you keep that for yourself, for your clients, that's like promotional work.
Yeah, and like the creative stuff, I'm still trying to figure out how to feed it into my grid. So work in progress.
Okay, we've got one from Justin Cargan. Have you tried any other brands other than Sony? And if so, what did you think? Oh, this is camera brands.
Yeah. I've shot with Canon. That's pretty much it. I mean, they're good. I just like the feel of Sony in my hands. That's a weird thing. It just feels right. Canon feels a bit bulky and big, and I don't know. They're still good cameras, like, but those that's probably the only other camera I've shot on Canon.
I think that's the only one that I had. My parents used to have a huge, big, is it 50 millimeter or what? I can't remember. But yeah, I remember, and they are chunky.
Yeah.
Then we have one from Spicy Aroma. Do you have your own presets or use someone else's?
Yeah, I do have my own presets. So for a lot of my street photography, I literally just throw my photos into Lightroom, use my presets. They're pretty much done in like one click. So I've kind of like stuck with the style that I like, but I also have like nature, urban, landscape. So I have a preset pack on my website. But yeah, it's available from there. But mainly for street photography, if people are into that and they need presets, definitely check it out.
Amazing. And then another one from Moses Shoots. Once again, ask us a good question. How did you learn to color grade?
To color grade, YouTube. Like literally, like everything I learn is from YouTube. There's no other way other than that and practicing. So nothing is wrong. It's literally like whatever you like. Like there's never going to be a wrong option what you do, because art is subjective. So whatever you like, be happy with it, and then just tweak it, keep progressing from there. But definitely YouTube helps.
Amazing. Yeah, you can literally learn anything on YouTube these days.
Anything.
We have another one coming through. It's being typed. So, Ronald Sauber asks, how do you plan your content? How do you know? Okay, so how do you plan your content? How do you know what type of stuff you will post daily?
So pretty much, I don't really have a set plan. It's just if I know I've shot something and I need to edit it, I'll edit it. So I try to put up like a street photography post, and then I'll do like a creative portrait, maybe a symmetry shot, maybe a drone shot. I try and mix it up. I don't want to like stick to the same content each post. In terms of planning, it's literally just if I know something's there, I need to edit it, and then I'll play around with what else I have sitting there. I'll be like, okay, I can do that next, and that's pretty much how I do it.
Amazing. And then we have another one coming through from 30mm Sid. Just be a second. Do you carry an everyday camera?
Like as a, just in like I usually carry my just the A7 IV around with me. In terms of a lens, I don't know if they mean lens. I would use like a 24-70 as an everyday kind of lens. But as a just a regular camera, no, just either the phone or my normal camera.
Yeah, I was about to say everybody has their phone on them. The cameras
Yeah.
on phones these days is insane. Cool, right. There are some more coming through. I'm sure they'll take a second. Got some great comments. Somebody saying it's been truly inspirational. I couldn't agree more. Lots of people still joining. For those of you still joining, don't forget to ask questions. Time is running out, so don't want to make sure that you get them asked. Otherwise, we might not have time. We've got one from Jeremy. What do you prefer more, editing or shooting?
Definitely editing. Like I said before, like I like to be creative. Shooting, it's like only to a certain point that you can get creative with it, I think. But in like post-production is where you can really transform something. Like a lot of the stuff on my feed isn't necessarily real, and that's what I like about it. Like that's me making something out of nothing kind of thing. So yeah, definitely editing.
Amazing, yeah. So like how much time do you spend roughly per picture, like on average, ballpark, editing each picture? Is it something that you like to really get into, or do you try and get as many done in one stint?
It depends like what kind of shoot it is. If it's like a street photography, like on my YouTube channel, I do POV videos where I like literally just put a GoPro on my chest and like walk around and take photos. So you can kind of see how I take the street photography photos. If it's something like that, I pretty much just put one of my presets on and then they're done. So that stuff's pretty easy. If it's creative stuff, if I need to Photoshop something out or add something into a photo, it would take a little bit longer. So it could take anywhere between 15 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour, like the more creative stuff. But if it's just editing like a single photo, like just a street photography, it's pretty much done in a minute, not even.
Amazing. I just saw something come up here from Jeremy again. If you had to pick one kind of content to do forever, what would it be?
It would probably be street photography just because you can do it anywhere. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be in a city. You could do it in your local town. And it's always going to be different. Like you're capturing moments in time. You're not actually like planning a shot or anything like that. You might capture something that only happens once, like someone in a specific spot for like one moment in time. I think is really cool. So yeah, probably that, because you could do it anywhere, do it at any time, like literally any time of the day or night. So yeah, definitely street photography.
Amazing. And like, do you have any favorite spots where, like, any favorite streets in Sydney where where you've taken some really amazing pictures?
I have a love-hate relationship with George Street in Sydney. So it's the main street in Sydney, and when me and the boys usually go out to shoot, we always end up there, and we've covered all bases on that street, and it's because the trams are rolling through, and it's the most like lively kind of street in Sydney. Sydney's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, it's like actually kind of boring. Nothing's happening. Like there's that one street. There are other streets where you might find a few hidden gems, but George Street is usually where you will get the best shots.
Cool. Yeah, I think I Australia is on my bucket list of places to go. And nearly everybody that I've known says like a weekend in Sydney's enough.
Yeah, I would agree, honestly. Unless
But
it's in
I will
summer.
go to George Street. Take some
If it's
pictures.
in summer and you're gonna hit the beaches and that's different.
Okay, cool. Right. That's good to know. So we've got some more questions coming in from Jeremy again. If you had to pick, oh wait, no, I've done that one. Justin says, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I don't know. I don't really have an inspiration. My partner inspires me a lot. She pushes me a lot. So that's probably the main one. I would say like myself, kind of like I just want to kind of create my like a better life for myself, something that I enjoy doing for a long time. I mean, other creators obviously that are doing it, you can look up to them and see like I want to do that. But yeah, like I don't really have an idol, so to say.
Oh, it's amazing. It's nice that you mentioned your partner, and also like, yeah, people never think about themselves being their own inspiration just to do better. But yeah, it's very true.
Mhm.
And then this next question, you've already answered half of it. So Moses Shoot says again, that's another great question. What is your favorite and least favorite type of content to create? So your favorite being street. So
Least
what would
favorite?
you try and stay away from if given the chance?
Wedding photography, probably. I mean, nah, that's a joke. I would I'm actually looking to do some weddings down the track. But I don't know. I enjoy it all. I mean, the real kind of photo drop ones, I tend to stick away from now, unless I have a bunch of images that I just want to share and get them out. That's probably like the least that I focus on, I'd say.
Okay, cool. Amazing. So I always found like every wedding I've been to, all of the wedding pictures are all very posed, and they never really get the candid ones, because weddings there are so many of those candid moments, like the children dancing on the dance floor together and stuff like that, and most photographers always miss those moments and just have the very posed ones.
Yeah, I think the posed ones are just the ones that get posted up. I think they always have the candid ones, but I think the person probably just doesn't post the candids as much.
That's a shame, because they're the ones with all the life in them, I think.
Yeah, I've done a few events like similar to weddings. Like I've done engagement parties and like big birthdays and things like that, like formal events. And my favorite are always the candid shots, always.
For
They
sure,
just
yeah.
always look the realest, and they turn out nice.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got another question. What's your... Oh, wait for it. Oh, what's your favorite photo or video that you've taken?
Um, I don't know. I have a photo, probably the photo that started my kind of growth, and it actually wasn't a reel that started my growth back in the start of last year. It was a photo of a Sydney tram, like from front on. It would be easy to see. I had it pinned to my profile, but I took it off the other day. There's a face on. I had a night shot and a day shot of the same position, and I kind of merged it into one photo. So one side was day, one was night, and I just added like motion blur, so it looked like the tram was like going full speed at you, like pretty much. Like that's probably my favorite piece of content I've created. Video, I have a few like cinematic videos on YouTube. Those are probably the ones that I like the most, just because they were like the most effort went into them.
Amazing. I need to scroll through to your to the beginning of yours and find that picture, because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I might pin it back up there.
Yeah, repost it. You said that you can reuse content. Repost it.
Yeah. I'll repost it up tonight. I'll put it on my story.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll keep my eye out for it. It sounds awesome. So, any more questions, everybody? For those of you who've just joined, I can see some people still joining. We've only got 10 minutes left. So if you want to ask a question about photography, about content creation, please ask it now, or you might not have time. Got another one here. It's just been typed. How do you know what type of content to post daily? Sorry, 1 second, it's still coming through. How do you plan it? So how do you know what type of content to post daily? How do you plan it? I feel as
I
though
think
we
we've
have,
covered that one.
yeah,
Yeah. But
we've touched on that one already.
I'll say it again, it's just yeah, following like try and find the trending reels if that's what you're ultimately going for to try and grow. See what's kind of doing well and recreate it or kind of do it the same, but put your own twist on it. Unless you just want to do the exact same thing but in your own style. That's pretty much it. That's how I do it.
Definitely. And we do have some more coming through. But whilst that's being typed out, so you've said your favorite picture that you've posted. Is there a picture that you've posted where you thought, oh, I don't love that one?
Yeah, there's been a few that like I post up and then I'll take it down. Mainly just because I'll post it up and I'll see it on my grid and I'll think it doesn't really fit. Nothing that comes to mind though. There's just little ones here and there that I'm like, nah, I don't really want to keep that up. Like it's kind of like if I put it up, see if it does well. If it doesn't, I'm happy to take it down. So there's been a few of those, but nothing like that I could even remember like what it was or
Well, that's really interesting that you know you're not scared to, because you know you start off saying, you know, but just keep on creating, but then at the same time don't be scared to take something down if it's not working or if you just don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff that you create, and even while creating it, like I don't know if this is gonna do well, but like I said, I try and post every day, and I'm like, okay, well, it's like almost midnight. I need to post something up or whatever. Put it up. If it doesn't do well, just take it down.
Oh, you still feed in the algorithm, but you don't have
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
kind of cheating it, I guess.
It's okay. Instagram's not listening, we hope. Okay, we've got a few more. Do you have any personal projects you're working on this year?
Um, I do want to do a lot more cinematic travel stuff. So I kind of let that take a back seat the last kind of, I'll say maybe 8 months. So traveling a lot more, doing the cinematic travel videos. Those will probably be my kind of personal thing that I might not post up for a while, or it might just get posted on YouTube and not necessarily to Instagram. But that's probably it.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to seeing whatever gets posted. We've got a few more coming through from at Big Web. Oh, what's your favorite night or day shots?
My favorite night that I've taken, or just in general
Yeah.
that I've taken.
No, so do you
Uh,
prefer night or day
oh, night
shots?
or day, right? Probably night. That was when I first started shooting. Mainly because I felt as kind of, might sound weird, but like when I first got my camera, I went out to shoot by myself. I didn't want to like kind of be seen in the day. Like it was a bit like I don't know, it was a weird thing. I just didn't want to like put myself out there and be seen taking photos. I thought it was weird at the start, but now I'm like I don't care. Like I'll go out and take a photo whenever. Um, but yeah, definitely night because that's where I kind of started learning. I think I learned photography backwards. Like night is much more challenging and harder to get like a good photo exposed and capture it without being blurry and that due to all the settings that you need to adjust on the fly. So yeah, probably definitely night because I like how the edits look as well. Um, but like daytime's cool too. I don't know. I like night though.
Yeah, well, you definitely did jump into the deep end because you like a camera needs light through the lens, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the smallest amount of light and work with
Yeah,
it.
it was more like trying not to be seen taking photos at the start, which is dumb now. Like it's like just go out and do it.
No, but it's perfectly like understandable. Like it's one of those things where you don't want to be seen doing it until you're good
You're
enough, sort of
good
thing.
at it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it was.
because everybody goes through that. Well, I definitely do myself too. So we've got another one from Jeremy. What drew you to your style of editing?
Um, just seeing like photos posted on Instagram and like that captured my attention. Like a lot of blues added into the night shots. which like obviously isn't real. Like nothing's blue at night when you go out, except if there's a blue sign or something. But like just adding that kind of cinematic feel, that cool futuristic look, I don't know, that really captured my attention, and that's what drew me to that style of editing. It's just seeing, like literally seeing it on Instagram.
Amazing, cool. So we've only got 5 minutes left, guys. So we've only got time for a few more questions. So if you want to ask a question, quick, get it in now because we definitely won't have time for it otherwise. And in the meantime, oh wait, there's one here from Just Cargin. Apologies, guys, if I'm pronouncing your names incorrectly. What's been your favorite country to shoot, and where is somewhere you've always wanted to shoot?
Favorite country to shoot so far, I would say. I recently just got back from Thailand. I think it was really cool. I've been to Thailand like 3 times before and never shot there, but this time around it was very easy to get good shots everywhere. I don't know, it was just super easy. The US is also good, I think, just because every city you go to is different. I've been to Europe and all around, but I haven't shot there. So I went there before I kind of started photography, but I imagine it would be the same. So I'm looking forward to going back to Europe and traveling all around and just taking photos in all of the different countries and cities and things like that.
Amazing. Well, if you ever come to England, let me know. I'll tell you some great places that definitely deserve being photographed more frequently.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. And I think that's pretty much anything. So like, just in case another couple of questions come through, like, do you have any last words that you'd like to say to our amazing audience before we wrap things up?
Just go out and shoot. If you want to be a content creator, post up whatever you want to post up. Don't be scared to do it. Just put it up, see what happens. Apart from that, not too much else. If you need any Lightroom presets for your photos, check out my website. Come and check out my page if you are into creative photography, travel photography, street photography. That's pretty much it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been amazing. I've definitely learned some more. I think I might have to steal my partner's cameras because he's got a whole bunch of them. I might start shooting myself because I feel truly inspired.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you to the amazing audience. Thank you so much for your questions. Don't forget, join our Discord. We've got loads of content creators out there starting out that are just great to talk to, post your new content. It's awesome to see it all. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks at our next one. Jayson, once again, thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, lovely to meet you. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.